Hello friends, family and other creatures of the sea, and welcome to a best of 3 between Mana, the king of cannon rushes, and Reynor in the TLMC. And Mana on White Rabbit opens up with a pylon that is just a little bit too far away over here. Ooh, look at that. This is kind of cute. I say kind of cute, this is really cute. Ooh. Is this like a fake cannon rush to bait the opponent? And then this is the real one? What is the... Oh, this is wild. Okay, what is the response? We're gonna get a 5 drone pool. Cancel on the gas. I mean, this... You can definitely just get a cannon in here, right? Oh yeah. So we get a cannon in here. We have a cannon over here. Is this just... This is just a This is a fake cannon rush with a forge into a real cannon rush. Still with the forge. Both of these will need to be cancelled. We're gonna get a gateway up here. Did you start attacking his own pylon for a sec? I think he did. Get a second gate on the map as well. A lot of drones have been pulled, so this is a lot of mining time lost. On top of that, there's no gas. That means that there's no serious follow-up here that I am aware of. So it's going to be one cannon that's shooting. Queen on the way. These drones are in an awkward position right now as a spine starts. This cannon cannot go up. If this cannon goes up, this hatch dies, and it's 16 workers against 18, heavily favoring Mana here in my mind. Cannon goes down at home, which could be considered a mistake. Doesn't seem to me like Reynor is planning on running across the map. This first cannon is going to get taken out. One on the left. We get a cancel on that. This bad boy is going to finish up as the Zealot is being chrono boosted out. We have this probe that is falling quite low when it comes to the HP. It managed to trick a lot of these links quite far away from where they want to be. They ain't quite where they think they are. This Overlord almost gets cleared by the cannon. Core goes down. I would love to see the Zealot not take damage against the spine. I think that would be good news. And right now all you really need to do is keep this cannon alive, and you should be kind of cooking, honestly. We're gonna go fight this spine crawler, which is incorrect. The links should be the main target here, in my mind, because they have the highest DPS against the Zealots. Now we're attacking the queen rather than the links. It's an interesting call. I guess that one has quite some... Yeah, it at least has the range, so it can always hit. This cannon is just gonna go down. Are there enough links out to deal with this? I think there might just be. This is such an awkward situation. Look at this. We now have 2 Zealots out. Make that 1 Zealot. We have 1 Zealot out. A second one is about to pop. More links are coming out as well. This can maybe tuck itself into a corner. No, it can't. No, it cannot. Yes, it can. Oh, second Zealot comes out. Beautiful control out of Mana. 16 workers to 18 still. Adept now starts as well. Good movement here on those Zealots. Once that first Adept actually pops, and it can tuck itself in here, and there won't be a queen out, that's going to be a pretty big deal. As long as these Zealots stay alive, and it can kind of cover for that Adept, that would be freaking huge. Like, what is the link count right now? We're at 12 links against 3 Zealots. The moment that Adept comes out... Oh, no! Zealots move way too far forward. They kind of lose their sick positioning. Still get an okay start of the fight. That potentially could shade somewhere else. Not quite what's happening right now. Both of these links are going to go down. Queen now pops as well. As one drone is going to get cleared. What do we have going on at home? There is no nexus behind this. We still have that cannon over here, so... Safety is pretty much guaranteed. There's no gas down here either. This was such a risky response out of Reynor. It really was. But if you imagine that this cannon was built aggressively rather than defensively, Reynor would just be dead. Because there would have been 1 extra cannon that Reynor would have needed to target down, and he wouldn't have been capable of doing so. So this was a completely non-viable response. This was a vibes-based response. This wasn't accurate. And Mana, he initially invested in this thing, it died. Then he invested over here and it stayed alive. And he was doing kind of okay. It is this one cannon that actually lost him this cannon rush. And usually when you lose a cannon rush like this and the hatchery stays alive and the drone count has been okay for Zerg, it does tend to mean that Zerg is in a significantly better spot. And I think that is what it will mean right now as well. Because we see 27 workers to 23. So usually the rule is kind of simple. Protoss is ahead in workers for a very long time. And then right around 40 workers is when the Zerg overtakes the Protoss player. Right now, the Zerg is already ahead of the toss. I don't think this is a sensible play here. Now, it's going to lose 2 links for that. Does get the scout on the Oracle, though, so knows what he's up against. I think it's always going to be Oracle in this case, so you probably already know what you're up against, but getting the confirmation on the timing must be quite nice. Getting the confirmation on the fact that you're really far ahead right now must also be quite nice, as, yeah, mana at 31 supply, Reynor already at 45. I find it difficult to believe that mana is going to get out of this in any decent way, shape, or form. This wall is also looking fairly poor. Like, this is not how I'd want a wall. I don't think this is how mana wants to wall either, as he moves over to try and take a third base. And he's down 7 workers right now as he goes for 1 queen. He's not going to get it as 2 more queens come in to assist. This is all getting pushed back. This is honestly highly unfortunate. I am not loving the vibes here for mana one bit. Charge, +1 on the way. This is going to be tough, tough, tough. Absolutely. What else do we have coming in? Okay, 2 more gateways. That's a 3rd gateway. Still no nexus, because that link being there, I guess. Oracle's going to move back home. Perhaps it's just going to be like a 2-base charge all in, hoping that the opponent forgets about safety measures like a Roach Warren or a Baneling Nest. I'm pretty sure that the charge almost can be defended with like pure Queen Ling, because the gateway count is so low and there's not going to be any extra reinforcements either. So we're really looking at a very minor charge build. Like, this is not going to kill Reynor. Like, what's he gonna do? Walk across the map with six zealots with +1? It's an unlikely story to me. This Nexus is gonna get cancelled as well. It's going from bad to worse for mana. What started out with a lot of potential was kind of fizzled out in a very one-sided affair. Reynor has... Like, he didn't even build a structure. Like, no Roach War, no Baneling Nest. He didn't even feel like he had to build it to be safe. And honestly, he's correct. I think he can just go straight into Hydras, which is most likely going to be the plan here. Hydras +1 range. I think he'll play for Lurkers, is my thought. Because if you want to play for Hydraling Bane, we probably would have seen a Baneling Nest already defensively, just in case. And indeed, yeah, we're seeing the range upgrade. I'm expecting a quick infestation pit here as well. So Reynor's actually going to take this into a longer game than is really necessary. Oh, no, he's not. He's going to go Roach Warren Evo. Oh, no, so Evo. And Roach Warren. I think this is just to make sure that he doesn't die against the 6 Zealots. But honestly, it's going to be impossible to die to the 6 Zealots. Like, what is this going to do? Like, nothing. Like, if this was 12 Zealots, I'd say, oh, you know, we might have a chance. If this was 18 Zealots, like, this would be a completely different game. Imagine this is 6 Zealots and 2 carriers flying to the 3rd base while a mothership attacks the main. That would be really tough for Reynor to hold. Also a completely unrealistic build given the economic situation that mana is in. Like, you could barely afford these 6 Zealots. I mean, I'm just saying it would have been tough, you know? Theoretically. Hypothetically. That would have been a really hard build to hold. Okay, we actually are going to get the Baneling Nest, so I think Reynor sees how weak this build is. He's like, oh my god. He thought this was a pressure build? So you know your opponent is just poor. It's like, yeah, I can't do anything. If they're poor, you just start throwing stuff at them. In StarCraft 2. Please don't do this in real life. That would be freaking weird. Zealots are going to split up. Despite mana not having any units, he's actually doing a decent amount. As in, like, he killed 3 drones. That is 4 drones. That is 4 more than I thought he would kill. Did he lose all of his zealots pretty much on, you know, as a result of it? Yeah. But this still, he dealt damage. He's gonna get a Robo Bay right now. He's working off just 2 gas so far. He's taking a 3rd gas. This is not a great situation as we see the first Baneling Morph coming in right now. We have a couple of sentries out. 2 Immortals were hiding. Here Mana is doing what Sun Tzu always said, is pretend to be weak when you're strong. Except Mana isn't strong. So I guess he's just pretending to be weak while he's weak. I don't think that was in the Art of War, but then again I can't read, so what do I know? Oh, Banelings are coming through. Zealots are actually going to get hit by some of these Banes. The control on these Zealots is not perfect. We still have 1 Baneling alive. Now these Hydras are just going to kind of punch through, I think. Like, we have so many Hydras still around. Zealot count isn't big enough. Sometimes you can get like this perfect amount of Zealots. If you have 10 Zealots here, Like, you're clearing this army, but with 6, you're barely not. If you had 10 Zealots and 8 Archons, this would be a complete walkover of a fight, let me tell you. It wouldn't even be close. Once again, if 2 carriers would enter the natural right now, Reynor would be in a world of trouble. Like, I'm not sure how Reynor would defend that. Once more, completely unrealistic given the economic situation in this game right now. 54 workers to 65, how are you gonna afford the carriers? I don't see it. What a ridiculous suggestion by you guys once more. Banelings are gonna start rolling forward. +1 upgrades on the range. Now, Mana does have +2, but he doesn't really have units with +2 because he doesn't have any units. He's like 7 Zealots. He's trying his best to micro, and he's honestly doing a good job, but you can micro all you want. If you have 7 Zealots, your opponent has 30 Banes and 25 Hydras. It's generally just gonna be a tough fight. Like, Banelings are struggling finding targets. Like, holy crap, everything died already? What are we here for? So yeah, I don't know. Just to be safe. Just to be safe. GG gets called as Reynor's gonna win game number 1 after a failed cannon rush. I think that is the one downside of cannon rushes, is when they don't work, is the games they last for a while, and they're freaking painful. And both of these things suck. The next map is going to be 10,000 feet, which has an interesting layout. I think there are theoretically 3 viable third bases for the Protoss. Over here. Kind of over here, I guess. And you could also take this. Like, you mine out some of these minerals, go here. You have these rocks to help you out. Like, all of this is actually possible to take as a third, but none of them are super comfortable. Like, this has like this weird area. This is a pretty tight choke. It's an odd map. For Zerg, I think the only real viable one is going to be the line base. You don't really want to take the forward one. Though rush distance is small, you could imagine a Queen Ravager walk being quite powerful here. What do you have over here? Just some bases as well. We have these corner bases too. Let's see what's going to kick off over here. As the first adept is not being chronoed out. Probably going to get one more chrono on workers then, aren't we? No, we already used it. So as the full amount of chronos on workers that you can use, adept is going to fake move across the map, I think. I don't believe you actually want to commit here. Let's see. Oh, sees that didn't cancel. That is a mistake. Did not get the cancel. So this Ling is going to get in. We'll see everything it will need to see. So the adept is going to try and connect with some drones in the main base. Not sure if that's the type of connections that the drones are into either, though. It probably isn't, if I'm being real honest. Adept shades out. So your main goal here is to just get something. If it's 2 links, that's fine. If it's like a drone, it's also fine. Took a lot of damage, though. A lot of damage just for a single link. Next is going to be built here. 328, is that correct? 3/3 pylon as well. So he's going to be playing single Oracle, I think. Because if you get a second Oracle at this point, you're going to get supply blocked. Usually you get 3rd pylon before Nexus if you go double Oracle. So this feels like it might go into Robotics Facility then. Pylon into Archon Drop or Stargate, like double Stargate Tempest is what I'm kind of feeling. Theoretically also possible to go into Quick Twilight, but we would have seen it thrown down already. I'm feeling Tempest much more than anything, just looking at the gas stuff right now. And as I say that, of course, we get a Robotics Facility. It's going to be built here in the natural. How many links do we have? We have 7 links out. It's quite a few links. Stalker's never going to reach that thing. He's well tucked away. Twilight Council comes in, so it's going to be an Archon drop. This is one of Mana's favorite builds, and it is a very, very powerful build as well. Oracle's just going to stay home for a little bit right now. It's going to be a double Archon drop at some point. Maybe even try to move out with these triple adepts. Initially 4 adepts. Oh, wow. Do you have money for these extra gates then? Seemingly. Mana knows best. He's played this build an absolute crap ton, as this Nexus has now officially finished up. So we're going to see a Prism into a Templar Archives. A little bit of a worker cut. And these 4 adepts are out as well, of course. That's actually... you shouldn't finish that. That's not a... Ooh. Oh, there's no queen in the main. It's a lot of links, though. Movement of the adepts not perfect either. He's going to get a couple of kills, but... 4 adepts without getting any damage. You're probably going to be forced into warping in some more adepts, which could actually delay your initial Archon drop. That is not what you want in life. This Oracle is just kind of hanging around. Moving over towards the far right side right now. This Overlord sees everything it needs to. And now you'll know that you need to build a couple of roaches here, because we have 5 queens, 6 queens. If you get 8 roaches out, you're cooking. Yeah, you're absolutely cooking with 8 roaches here. If you don't get 8 roaches out, you're doing the opposite of cooking. Like, you're going to be in some trouble. You get an Immortal behind this, Forge on the way as well. He really needs to start building some roaches. Like, it's nice that you killed the Adepts. I'm all there for it, but not getting any roaches to deal with this could turn into a problem. There's 17 links, 6 queens, but none of these queens are in position. It's going to be the end of a couple of these drones. You should just ignore the queen. Yeah, there we go. 1 drone goes down, 2nd drone will fall. Here come the links. 3 more queens coming in as well. We're going to get another shot here on top of those drones. Don't forget, a couple of Overlords are also quite vulnerable. This one is most likely going to die. Overlords require 6 Archon shots. And those will be viable. We still have an Overlord here that could be attacked too. Double gas is now coming down, but look at this probe. This is the one that wants to build a simulator. Was stuck behind the Adepts and the Zealots. So that means that the 6 gas is going to be quite delayed. Oracle moving towards the far left. As this Archon is now stuck on the high ground. Will clear the Ovi. As Reynor's going to move downstairs here. That's a mistake. Loses a couple of links. 62 workers to 76. Hydra then on the way. We have 6 gas. I think Reynor is going to go for a Roach Hydra all in here. But that doesn't make any sense because he's getting 8 more drones. So it feels like Reynor should be taking 8 gas and an infestation pit. He's getting 7 more drones? He's going 90 drone. I think he's completely mistaken where he's at in his life right now. The Archon drop is going to come into the main base once more. Queens again out of position. Just a single queen that just popped in the main base. Look at this. Mana's dealing so much damage over here. 4 more drones. It's going to be 87 drones for Reynor. He's already oversaturated in the 3rd base. Going to be oversaturated in natural a little bit as well. Infestation pit is insanely late. Extra queens are being added in. He's already lost 1, so this is a total of 9 queens. Like, this is one of the worst economical openers I've seen in my life. Like, it is not teching fast at all. He invested so much into defense, yet still took damage. Like, this is not what you want in life at all. 12 roaches to delay tech even further. I still think this might actually just be Roach Hydra. High drone count Roach Hydra. And in that case, you would want a drop, I think. I think you want Dropper Lords. Dropper Lords would allow you to at least multitask a little bit with this type of composition. Because if you go for just a pure Roach Hydra at this point, like, how are you going to deal with Storm? I don't see it. So this Roach Run-by is going to go across the map. It's not going to do anything. Now we get an Infestation Pit. So a standard timing for Hive to start is like maybe 7 minutes into the game. 7 minutes and 20 seconds. This Infestation Pit isn't even going to be done 8 minutes and 30 seconds into the game. Like, this Hive is so ridiculously late. It's insane. Like, there's going to be a Lurker push that will hit at 11 minutes. Like, Mana's going to be maxed on 35 Immortals at that point. He already has 6. He's actually going to have more Immortals than there will be Lurkers. Like, he's moving across the map against someone that's on Roach Hydra, 85 drones. And he has, what, like 10 Storms available. He has 6 Immortals. The only thing that Reynor can do is base trade. It is the only possible play that he has right now in his toolkit. In his playbook. Hive on the way. Lurker then coming out too. Couple of spines. Here we go with this little base trade move out. I really like this. It's absolutely correct as we get a fleet beacon out now as well. 8 Immortals. I mean, I am absolutely not seeing this. If y'all can tell me how Reynor's gonna hold this, I'm interested, alright? Sign me up for that seminar. Because that has to be the hold of a lifetime. Zealots in the main base. That means that there's a prism there as well. We have 2 prisms out on the map. Very cool. Neat little move. It's easier to do, of course, if you have the double robos. But cute nonetheless. Mothership starts as well. Mana's playing extremely careful. I think a little bit too careful even. I wouldn't mind if Mana would actually have committed to a push. Like, his army is significantly better than his opponent. Now he allowed the other guy to get a couple of Lurkers out, which is not what you want. 6 Lurkers, but without any upgrades really. Mothership still on the way. Gonna go up to 9 Immortals soon. Prism is still out and about. This is 12 supply that is dealing with a 2 supply unit right now. Don't forget, Reynor is already up in upgrade or in drone count, so It's not like he has a lot of leftover supply. Good storm here. He's going to clear a couple of these drones. 5 of them will go down. Here comes a revelation. Nice. Seismic Spine's not done yet. That means that storm is going to be quite a powerful tool here. Look at that. Oh my god. 2 storms do kill lurkers post-patch. If you're not going to get any transfuses going. Ooh. These Templars taking quite a bit of damage though. Zealots are hitting the natural mineral line. I don't know what happened with the prism, but these Zealots are actually dealing a lot of damage. Lurker spread is good. I don't think you can just straight up walk in there. Tempest coming out as well. We have the... what's this thing called? The nanomuscular swell that's coming out right now. Interested to see how that will go. So it's going to be Hydra Lurker. This 5th base is toast, by the way. Like, you cannot reposition into Immortals. It is theoretically impossible. You see, like, you move forward, and with this type of an Immortal count, you just can't do it. These Storms are good as well. It's going to connect with a lot of this army, and Mana's just fully sending it over here. As Immortals are a little bit oddly positioned, but I think it might just be fine. Mana with 2,600 minerals and 400 gas in the bank has his own 5th base, while Reynor just loses his 5th. One lurker in the back still dishing out a bit of damage. It does need to be cleared over here and will get cleared. I think Templar are going to be key right now to stop these links from just straight up surrounding. We have a setup of Zealots. We have 1 Templar coming in. Love to see some cannons as well. So Mothership is going to fly into the main base. And Mana knows exactly what he wants to do. And Mana wants to get in there. Mana wants to get in there. He sees an opportunity to sneak in. And he's going to sneak in right now. Dodges that hatchery. No, never mind. The range of the Mothership a little bit too high. Little bit too high. I mean, that does kind of give it away. Does, of course, give Mana the opportunity to maybe run in here. Look, the entire army is getting positioned into the main base. And we do get the recall. No, Mana. You're recalling it the worst possible time. This base was completely empty. You could have walked in here, but instead he's going to go into the main base. Kind of an awkward start of a fight here. Not a lot of Templars available. At the same time, a Ling run by enters the main base of Mana. And where before I thought this game was unlosable, I still actually believe that. But it was a risky maneuver. It was absolutely a risky maneuver. Triple Stargate pumping out Tempest. It's going to be of great help. More Immortals are coming out here as well. And despite this army getting cleared, Mana still is in the lead. He is up a base. He is up in workers. He has a higher quality army. And he's going to get more gas income as well. And these are really the only things that tend to matter in Zerg versus Protoss. Prism's going to get sniped. Temp is going to be in a little bit of trouble here as well. Don't forget we have the lunge. So can move away. Can move in and out real quick. There's another Zealot run by here is going to connect to this bottom side. Not a single lurker inside. This base is in some serious trouble. There's only 4 lurkers out. 6 lurkers out total. All 6 of them are over here. These Zealots are going to start clearing drones. Might want to try and run away. The base gets cleared, and that's all Mana really needs. That is all Mana really needs. He keeps adding in more and more Zealots, which is understandable because he wants to quickly max out. You do have to be careful that you don't accidentally build a Zealot army. That's one of the worst things that can happen to you. Like when you actually have an army that consists of like 30, 40 Zealots, which is kind of what we have now, but at the same time, I mean, this area is just not defendable whatsoever for Reynor. Like, you have this high ground, you have the storm ability. Vipers are going to come in right now. There's 1 abduct available. There you go. Viper almost gets cleared. Love to see an Oracle in the mix too, just to gain a little bit of vision. Prism to the main would be huge. So Immortals are getting rallied towards the right side. Don't think that is on purpose. Mana's going to lose 2 Immortals over here. Does kill a base. So it's going to be 3 base versus 5. Do we have any defensive forces here? Oh, we have a bunch of Templar down there. And I think this is a serious issue. I mean, Reynor needs to start doing something over here. If he wants to force his opponent to go back, he needs to start doing stuff. But right now he's just relaxing. This base could be in some trouble, but Reynor's going to get reset down to 2 bases. It's the same eco that he was in at minute 2. It's usually not quite what you want in life. As this attack does look serious, but I'm not sure if it has enough output here. We're going to get a recall. There is an observer available too. We have a couple of storms that could come from the side. There we go. That's 1 storm. That's 2 storms. That's 3 storms. That's 4 storms. So the man actually does walk through the storms for a little bit. That's the problem with the new storm, is that it lasts so long, is that you accidentally end up moving through it. 2 Archons are out. 4 Immortals as well on the map already. Then we have this left side force. And these are still up, so you can't really use that to multitask here. There's 2 cannons in here too. In double hatches on the way right now for Reynor, who does have this right side base, but this is just gonna be so freaking tough. Like the army for Mana is just way too big. Mana is playing pretty impatiently, like he's kind of running into positions rather than playing out slowly with these Tempest, with an Oracle, you know, just shooting at from a distance at these things. But he can go wherever he wants pretty much. Like he can actually go wherever the hell he likes to. 170 supply to 151. It is hard to imagine a world in which Mana doesn't just straight up win in the next few minutes. This base is going to get taken out. We already have a new one on the way over here. We have a Zealot Rumby that's going to hit the right side. Or maybe comes in with a flank. Could actually intercept these units, which would be funny. I think the lack of an Oracle is a huge deal. Like, Oracle is so good against Lurkers, because you don't need to expose your observers anymore. Which is one of the most annoying things, losing observers. I mean, Tectonic Destabilizers putting in serious work here as well. Once more, Mana decides to just run in. There's only 2 Lurkers available right now. As invisibility gets used. Get a couple of Storms here on top of the Hydras. Tempest in the back, dealing a lot of damage as well. And the Immortals on the ground, they manage to hold themselves standing strong. UG gets called. Mana's going to win game number 2. And our third map is going to be Taito Citadel. Another hatch block here out of Mana. Don't really do any damage though. We get a second gate in the wall this time around. I wonder what his opener is actually going to be. If he once more decides to go for an Archon drop. Or if he has something else cooked up for us here. As he quickly recharges this Oracle at the start of the game. Here we're going to go for a snipe on the worker. Is he going to get it? No. Pulsar Beam does get activated. I always feel like that if you activate a Pulsar Beam and you get just a single link, it's not worth it. You get 2 links all of a sudden. Freaking perfect. Once more, yep. Here comes the robotics facility. Double gases as well. So we actually are going to be playing an Archon drop. Which is completely fine. You can play the same build twice in a row. I do not think that Reynor is going to have such a, honestly, kind of mediocre response like he did in the previous game. It really felt like Reynor lost that game more than Mana won it. Mana now moves across the map with these 4 adapts. Has the Stalker still in the back. Gonna clear some creep tumors here. I'd love to see a cancel this time on these adepts actually, as the Stalker comes out to try and deal with this. Well done. Good execution out of Mana. Does not get confused here. Does not get distracted. As the Prism is gonna start. And the Templar Archives will shortly follow. 2 Queens quite far forward. Ooh, we're gonna go for the surround here. Pulsar Beam needs to be activated. Does not get activated. And these adepts are gonna shade in. We'll get 1 or 2 kills on the drones. Bit of a pull away as well out of these drones. Templar Archives came down at a decent timing. The worker count is looking okay too. We're going to once more need a double adept warp in over here. Oracle still alive. We have a stasis ward on the 4th base. But this could also be a 4th base. This could also be a 4th base. This is a very interesting map with a lot of viable 4th bases. And I guess a lot of them are not that easy to defend. This is probably the easiest one to hold. As Mana is now... it's going to warp him in defensively. It's actually going to be warping them in defensively. As the Prism is going to come back home. We'll need to pick these guys up, go across the map. This is going to be Roach defense without a Roach Warren. Oh, it's going to be Queen Ling. 5 Queens, 26 Lings. Range upgrade. And then a Spire. So it's gonna go into Mutalisk. Don't forget the Spire 100 resources cheaper. 50-50 cheaper. As well as a little bit quicker. So it's easier to get out. Less of an investment. And here come the 4 Queens. Oh, that is 2 fat volleys. 2.5 fat volleys here on top of this Prism. Not the end of the world, but you do need to be careful that you don't take too much damage. And if you lose it, the game tends to just end. Especially if you're fighting against Spire stuff. This thing is how far? 80, 90% or so. Lynx are still waiting for this Archon drop. 9 more drones coming in as well. It's going to go up to 80-ish drones. 8 gas most likely as well. We still don't have any structure that is going to benefit from the range upgrade. I almost feel like this is a mistake. It was supposed to be a melee upgrade, but I could be wrong about that. Oh no. Yeah, he's going to build a Baneling nest. He wants to play Ling Bane Muta. Accidentally got the wrong upgrade. Oh, he's going to play Hydra Ling Bane Muta. Oh. Wow. Okay. I haven't actually seen this style before, ever. Hydra Ling Bane Muta. So a Muta start. This... I mean, it's interesting. We get a cannon on the side. We have a cannon in the main. Mana seems to be well aware as to what is kicking off. Hasn't spotted the Spire, but he knows enough. I don't know how he knows. I guess all he's seen so far is Lynx and nothing else. That's going to be good enough for him to add a couple of cannons in, as well as a Phoenix. It's going to be a solid defense for him here. The only problem that Mana has is that his eco kind of sucks. And has sucked for a while. Like, he's oversaturated in the natural, not well saturated over at the third base. Fourth is coming in, but it isn't super fast. Muta's going into the main base. That's going to be the end of his fourth, because he's moving his entire army to deal with 8 Mutas. That was a serious mistake, a serious error. And that means minus at least 2 pylons, I think. And also minus this Nexus. Mutas managed to stay alive too, so that is still something you're going to need to deal with. As the Hydras are now starting to build. I love this build. I absolutely do love this. We're going to play Muta Hydra Ling Bane into an Infestation Pit as well. So could still go into either Ultras or potentially... I've seen Brute Lords in the past, and as the Brute Lord has been buffed a little bit in the previous patch, maybe it's just going to be Hydra Ling Bane into Brutes. It is not common, but it is played sometimes. Rarely. Every now and again. A couple of storms could hit these Lynx, but it won't. As the Nexus gets cancelled for a second time. And that means a 9-minute Nexus against a Zerg that is on 85 drones. I think that Reynor should be trying to trade out ASAP though. Like, he cannot be hanging out at home, just chilling. Standing around. Nothing to do. That is not what you want generally. So we're gonna get this Oracle moving across the map. Here come 22 Banes. Two more Stargates as well as a Fleet Beacon. I wonder if the goal is to go into Carrier here. So you have one more Phoenix coming around too. There's going to be 3 Phoenixes to deal with 8 Muta list. I think the real problem here is just the complete lack of gas units. Only 2 Archons. I mean, there's some stuff over here, but Mana is blissfully unaware as to what is going on. This is not a great angle to attack for Reynor, because this is easy as hell to storm. Look at this. These storms are dealing a lot of damage. This is one of the worst fights that Reynor could have taken. Holy crap. That was a god-awful fight out of Reynor. Really poorly done. I do not quite understand why he decided to go into this angle, but this was great for Mana. Look at that, 6,500 resources lost against 3,600. These rocks should have obviously been taken out to come from a second angle with the Banelings. Like, this was not a good fight whatsoever. This was, and obviously not. Like, we could see it happen beforehand. Way too many units for this small of a choke. And now Mana, I don't want to say it feels like he has a playable position, but it does kind of feel like he's in a playable position. There's no Banelings anymore. Archons are dealing a lot of damage against these Lynx. Templar count is also non-existent, or, well, actually... No, we have 5 Templars still. Dude, we're cooking. Phoenixes are going to be showing up. Phoenixes are going to be taking care of these Mutalisks. All that Mana needs to do right now is be in position for the next attack. If he realizes where the next attack is coming from, look at the supplies. Army supplies are even. I much prefer the army that Mana is working with right now. Like, he has a lot of stuff. A Zealot run by wouldn't hurt. But everything else is perfect. Like, if you just send these 7 Zealots away and you send a bunch of Zealots out here as well, I think we're freaking cooking. Cannon count is good too. We have, what, 8 cannons, 7 cannons over here. That should be decent. That should be decent, as this Baneling attack is going to hit a lot of the probes. That is not great for the Protoss player. This push does get stopped. 14 workers going down, though. And although 3 Stargates are out, we haven't seen a single Stargate unit being built. And now 4 Stalkers. Okay, here come the Carriers. It's kind of what I was expecting, due to that fast +1 as well. And the the weird nature of this game. The Hydra Link Bane, you don't really want Tempest against that. Zealot Rumbys are going to be absolutely key at this point too, by the way. It almost feels like Mana is afraid of a Muta transition again, but he should be afraid of the Hydra Link Bane. Just connecting once more. Adrenal has finished up as well. I'm expecting +3 to start at some point, as we're only on 8 gases. The +3 cannot quite be afforded. Veiling count here is good. We have no storms available. Recharge not here as well. There's a storm in the back. A couple more storms coming in forward right now too. Can these probes survive? No, they cannot. A lot of the probes are going down. We have a few more storms in the chamber though. One more, like 4, 5, 6 more storms. 2 carriers are being popped out here. Once these are available, that would be nice. But the problem is the Hydra count is still too big. If you're fighting against like 9 Hydras, then these carriers are kind of going to be a showstopper, right? You come out with these and you'll just start killing Ling Bane, but the Hydra count is good enough that you can clear interceptors. And that's all you really want. That means that the Banelings are gonna get ignored by the carriers. And that means that the carriers actually do not contribute that much to the fight. At the same time, the Hydra push on the left side is going to clear a lot of works here as well. As GG gets called, Reynor is going to win with a set of cool games after denying the cannon rush in game 1. Losing game 2, he managed to take the series here with Muta Ling Bane into Hydra Ling Bane.